Basically, I ain't really had no guidance, no father figures, no real role models. You know, really what I had was my mama, who was still, you know, in and out the streets, doing her thing. My grandmama, who had already raised six kids, about 6, 7 kids, and wasn't really, you know, shoot, like her and my granddad, they weren't trying to raise their kids, although they did it, you know, at some point or another. You know, but they had an attitude about it, and it came to me. Not my granddad as much, my grandma. My grandma was awesome. Man, keep your own kid type shit. You know what I'm saying? But she loved me and took care of me just as well. But you know, and at that point, man, I really was like on some get like either if I don't get it for myself, since my uncle gone and my pop in New York. And my mama doing her thing, and my grandparents don't want to be bothered with me. If I don't get it, ain't nobody gonna get it to me.
It started as a celebration, a night of music, energy, and flashing lights. But before the sun would rise, the streets would be painted with blood. A life would be lost, and the echoes of gunfire would follow one man for the rest of his days. The crowd at Club Ritz was alive, buzzing with the afterglow of the night show. T.I. had just performed, and the energy was electric. But what should have been a victory lap was about to spiral into something far more dangerous. A handful of bills fluttered through the air, tossed from the stage. A simple gesture meant to excite, to celebrate. But sometimes, even the smallest act can light a fuse. "We got money. Why you throwing money at us?" The voices in the crowd grew heated. Words turned to shoves. A scuffle erupted, fast and wild, fists swinging, bodies colliding. Security moved in, trying to smother the fire before it spread. But the embers were already burning. T.I. and his team moved fast. They had been in this business long enough to know when trouble was brewing. The van was packed, engines revving, tires peeling out of the parking lot. But danger wasn't behind them. It was following close, lurking in the darkness of the night. Unknown to them, a group had already made their decision. The fight wasn't over. It was just moving to a different battlefield. The hum of the road should have been a comfort, the city lights fading behind them. But as they sped down Interstate 75, something wasn't right. Shadows flickered in the mirrors, headlights too close, too aggressive. Then gunfire, glass exploded, screams. The van swerved violently, tires screeching against pavement. The bullets came fast, relentless, tearing through metal, flesh, and bone. Panic spread like wildfire. "Get down!" But for one man, it was too late.
Early this morning, one person is dead.
Yeah, continues to be our big story this morning. Rapper T.I. performed at Bogart's earlier in the night. After the show, he partied at Club Ritz on Seymour, and that's where police say all the trouble started. 4 people, 3 members of T.I.'s entourage and a woman were shot on Paddock Road. And we're hearing that one of those men has died. No word on if any arrests have been made. Involved in that, our Dan Carroll joins us live from where investigators remain on scene. Dan, what can you tell us about the investigation?
Well, Rob, I can tell you that I-75 is still shut down completely from just south of the Ronald Reagan Highway all the way down to I-74, and this is where the shooting started this morning. We are just south of Paddock on I-75, and over my shoulder is one of the vans that was involved in that incident this morning. Now, here's the way police break it down for us. They tell us that the rap artist T.I. was playing at Bogart's. After the show, T.I. and the entourage comes up to this club in Roselawn, the Ritz nightclub on Seymour Avenue. Sometime during their stay at the Ritz nightclub, there is some sort of altercation. Exactly what happened there, still, they haven't got all that sorted out yet. But what happened there carried out here onto the street on I-75, and this is where the shooting started, 75 just south of Paddock. Now, police describe this as a running gun battle that continued all the way down to 75. There is a another van that is on I-75 near Mitchell. That is a white van that was also involved in this shooting. 3 members of the TI entourage were wounded in this exchange of gunfire. 2 of them, we are told, have life-threatening injuries. Another woman who was may have been with this other group that got on the altercation with TI and TI's crew was also wounded in this. But that's why the homicide investigators are out here, because they say possibly there could be fatalities as a result of this. As we speak right now, we do not know that has happened. So in any case, 75 remains shut down. Homicide investigators are on the scene, really going over. We've been watching this van behind us now for the last several hours, going over that thing with a fine-tooth comb, trying to get whatever evidence they can.
3 miles of highway locked down, blood staining the asphalt, 2 vans riddled with bullet holes, and in the chaos, only one man lay still. Philant Johnson, 26 years old, a friend, a brother, a son, gone in an instant. For hours, the road was a crime scene, police searching for answers, but the real question echoed in the minds of everyone who knew what had really happened. Was the bullet meant for him, or was it meant for T.I.? 2 years later, the courtroom was silent as the verdict was read. The man responsible, Hosea Thomas, found guilty. A sentence of 66 years to life. Justice in the eyes of the law. But justice doesn't bring back the dead. T.I. sat in that courtroom, knowing that night could have ended differently. Knowing that in another life, it could have been him laying on that highway. And as the gavel struck, the echoes of that night remained. The flashing lights, the screams, the gunfire. A night that started in celebration and ended in tragedy. T.I. would face backlash about testifying on the stand and was accused of breaking the street code. So he would find himself being questioned about it a lot.
State's Exhibit 34K.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize who that is?
Yeah, that's Phil.
Okay.
Oh, that's his body.
And 34A.
Yeah, that's the entry room.
And that's a picture of Philant with the bullet hole in his head.
Yes, it is.
And that's the bullet hole that you described to the jury as being in his temple on the left side.
Yeah.
How did Philant's family find out about his death?
I told him. I called his mom first, then I told his cousin. I told his little girl.
How old was his little girl?
His daughter was 4 years old at the time. Five years old at the time.
And how did you tell his daughter that her father was dead?
He's in a better place and he won't be coming back. And I told him how much he loved her.
And how did you tell his mom that her son was gone?
Well, first I apologized. I apologized because, I felt that, all of those rounds were fired for me, in my opinion. So I apologized to her at first, and then I told her what happened to the best of my knowledge, and I told, I didn't get to really say much.
So much to the point that he felt he needed to clear the air and address it live on the radio.
Guys, get his docket sheet, please.
And let me check with the technicality. Cause usually when I say this, I put this kind of truth out there, then they try and come sideways with the technicality, which is dry snitching, which means when you go up and you are not involved in a case, but you were a witness and you have the opportunity to point the finger at somebody. When it was involved in my partner Phil's death in Cincinnati,
that's right.
I was subpoenaed to go to court. I was also out on $3 million federal bond and a pre-trial release where I had to walk around with marshals all the time because they wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna run and jump bond. And so when I was subpoenaed, the federal government knew, so I couldn't just not go. That's a violation of my bond restriction. Then I'm gonna lose my $3 million and my freedom. Now I got to go, and plus my partner mama said she wanted me to go, so I went and I sat up there and I told the God's honest truth. I looked looked at that man right there. I said, hey, look, I can't tell anybody whether or not that man was the man who did any shooting because I saw fire and I returned fire. That's all I saw. I don't know if it was him or anybody else. That man in prison right now, not because I said my partner, he killed my partner, because who was in the car with him said he killed my partner.
So are you saying that even in the case in which your guy was killed, your
in a
man,
shootout,
My best friend in a shootout.
best friend in the world was killed.
Yeah.
You still wouldn't come out and finger someone for that? It was their own part. That's against the G code to be like, no, that guy killed my partner.
Because we were shooting too. They shot at us and we shot back.
Some nights change everything. Some moments leave scars deeper than flesh. And some questions never get answers. Was it fate, a mistake, or was it something darker? One thing is certain. On that night, death had followed close, and when it came, it did not miss his mark. Alright, y'all, there y'all have it. That's the story of T.I. getting into that shootout in Cincinnati, Ohio. Throwback, 2006. Hey, man, get in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think. You already know what it is. Drillers and trappers, we out here trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video.